How's it going, chat? Sorry if I seemed a bit rushed here at the end. Had some late breaking news pop through. And I wanted to make sure everything was up to date before we did a broadcast here. I will be starting pretty soon, though. Script is all in order. We'll be doing it very similarly to how we did it last week. Reading from a script, there's going to be a slideshow. Following the news slideshow, we should have time to do Q&A. Also look at today's changelog, go over that as well, and hang out for a little bit. So strap in. Hopefully my rushing stuff didn't bust anything. Hello Bernardo, Lizzie Babs, Gut Mace, Danielle, Panama. Good to see everyone here. Strap in. It'll be a good one. Also, there's actually going to be an advertisement. Not like I'm sponsored, but more like... what's the best way to put it? A guild. A guild is running an ad on the show. So, stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Alright. Turning off mic. Opening will be running shortly. Welcome to Turtle Wow News with Vrograg. I'm your news anchor orc, Vrograg Fishslayer, here to bring you all the server news for the week of February 27th, 2024. With the lack of any large announcements, we'll continue to focus on community stories, from triumphs to despicable cheaters, Market Watch, and the Changelog Roundup. So, let's get to it. I'm the orc, and here's the news. Our top story today covers the unsettling revelations of an exploit that made waves on Northernar. Multiple sources, both public and private, provided unsettling screenshots of Alliance players wearing PvP gear unavailable to them. To better understand how exactly this is an exploit, one needs to understand how the Alliance and Horde PvP gear sets differ. Statistically, the two sets are identical between their respective classes. However, visually they have marked variations. This is why authenticated screenshots of Alliance characters wearing Horde PvP gear was so disturbing. At a glance, the only way to achieve these visuals for a character would be to have the gear in one's Transmogrification catalog, and since the gear is different between faction, it further implied players were receiving race changes. To the Turtle team's credit, they acted swiftly to run their own investigation on how players were achieving the gear and faction mismatch. Though many cried foul, I could not find a single verifiable instance of illicit race change within this case. About an hour after the story broke last week, the team reported that the violating players were using an undisclosed exploit involving PvP vendors and mind control. Further complicating matters is that at least one veteran player who legally received a race change back when they were still attainable had some of their faction mismatching PvP gear, which they obtained fair and square, removed in error. Now, this exploit has been since fixed. The actual exploiters had their transmog catalogs adjusted, exploited items removed, and the gold spent was not refunded. Exploiters will also find a not-so-subtle reminder text when logging onto their accounts for a week of their infraction. The team has also been notified of the case of the player who did nothing wrong and are reviewing their options. Stories like this are difficult to cover. It is imperative to make sense of complex stories like this, and I thank those parties who aided in bringing this to my attention. It helps dispel the illusion of conspiracy and demonstrates the tough behind-the-scenes work that the team has to do. Remember, team members are human too, and while enforcement was swift, errors with punishing innocent players can happen. It is through honest and open communications that we are able to bring all of this out into the light and ensure fairness and integrity. I'll take this moment to remind citizens of Azeroth to report any suspicious behavior to the appropriate authorities. Together, we can keep our community free from cheaters and exploiters. Our next top story is about... let's try that again. A little water. Our next top story is part of our continuing coverage of the Class Change Community Council. It has been nearly 2 months since invites were sent out to the applicants, and conversations have been happening in earnest. I'm not allowed to speak about the specifics of what anyone says in the exclusive forum, but as your community advocate, I think I owe it to all of you to update you as best I can. The discourse within the various channels has remained respectful and on task. With class changes officially slated for 1.17.2, there is still some time before actual ideas become development work. The dev team has primarily observed and lightly advised respective class discussions for future designs. To add to the general theory crafting and depth of work that community members could do, they were given access to a talent builder. This allows community counselors to propose new talents, tweaks, and adjustments to the existing talent trees within each class, while having a framework to work off of. For some more insight, I tallied up how active each class channel is by tracking how many posts are made. Since being off topic is largely discouraged, most of these numbers represent how much back and forth class counselors are having for each respective class. The best way to interpret these figures is that low numbers mean wide agreement on matters, and high numbers mean there is a lot of disagreement and conversation around the direction for a class. An analogy I've been using is that class changes are a bit like pulling a car into a shop for some work. Hunters and warlocks are in for a quick tune-up. Druid, mage, priest, and rogue are getting a tune-up, some new tires, and fixing an exhaust issue. Warrior is getting all the aforementioned work and maybe a fresh coat of paint. Paladins got in a nasty rear end accident and need a lot of repair work, but at least the car isn't totaled. Shaman? Well, technically the frame exists, but it's in several pieces. It's a miracle they could even get it into the shop. Lighthearted analogies aside. Sorry, lost my line. Try it again. Lighthearted analogies aside, with development for 1.17.2 becoming a focus following the next patch, the community representatives are ready when called upon to continue their work with the team, giving feedback, accounting for balance, and attempting to make Turtle WoW the best experience it can be. I would like to thank all the members of the Class Council for allowing me to bring some information out into the public and offer a window into the great volunteer work everyone is contributing. Stay tuned for more updates on the Class Change Council as they develop. In happy news, I wanted to announce that there is a new guild in the community that just added themselves to the storied history of Turtle WoW by getting their first Kel'Thuzad kill last week. Good job, Pantheon. Welcome to the top. It took a lot of tenacity transforming from the breakup of a previous guild. It was only this last summer that you were in Guild Recruitment Channel boasting about clearing BWL, and now look at you. I hope you brought some frost-resistant potions because it's chilly up here. Thanks to Class War finalist Hadjo for bringing me this triumphant story. That rounds out top stories for this week, and while we're on the topic of guild recruitment, I was given several stacks of fishing lures to air an advertisement. So enjoy, and we'll be right back with Market Watch.
Are you a nerd of Turtle WoW? Whether you're in North America or Europe, let this be your new home. New to raiding? No problem. We welcome first-time raiders with open arms. We're a fun-loving, casual guild with a no-jerk policy. So, leave your dragon-sized ego at the door. We have regular raid days for MC, BWL, and more. Message us today and flock to your fellow nerds.
Welcome to Market Watch, the best and worst market show from Turtle WoW, because it's the only one. All our market data is gathered from numbers provided by WoWauctions.net. Make sure to use their website for all your own market data research and investment due diligence. First to Telebim. The Alliance S&V 200 showed a lot of activity this month, especially trending up over 50%. The Horde S&V trended up more modestly by only 15%. Across the board, many of either faction's indexes trended in similar ways. The real difference I found was in enchanting. For Alliance, the index trended up about 2%, but showed real strength most recently. For the Horde, despite a mid-month spike, the index trended down 10%, and conversely was continuing down. So what accounted for this discrepancy? Looking at some quick comparisons, the normally strongest commodities in enchanting mostly came down in value in the last 2 weeks. For the Alliance, despite the index's growth, Nexus crystals even dropped 4 gold, finishing under 11. Meanwhile, even though the Horde's index floundered, Illusion Dust and Greater Eternal Essences showed strong demand. That's when I reviewed the config file for the enchanting indexes I made. I nearly forgot Golden Pearls was in there, since some of it are used on the highest level enchants available. And wow, I think that explains it. Mind the scaling on the graph. In the last 2 days, golden pearls jumped from 5 gold to a staggering 24. This vastly outscales anything else on the index, and similarly, on the horde side, the value came down from 10 gold to 4. I just recently learned what market arbitrage means, and price differences this big certainly make it seem like something worth looking into. If not, then fishers remember to open up all your clams on Telebim. Over on Northernar, the S&P 200 weakened slightly, trending down 2%, closing the month at 9 even. There was a notable drop around the 19th, so I looked around the other indexes, but it was largely inconclusive. Sometimes the S&P just catches general market trends, and this is one of those cases. One index defying the odds continues to be herbalism. Despite more herb nodes being placed in the world, Tithe DKP systems being officially banned, and consumables persisting through death, the cost of herbs is steadily climbing as of late. The old culprits of Plague Bloom, Mountain Silver Sage, Ice Cap contributed to herbalism's ascent, and surprisingly, so did Fade Leaf, which pushed up 25% in 2 weeks. However, one real surprise was Dreamfoil, which for the first time in months shot up in value, actually emerging from the sub-30 silver valuation. Observing the price since late December better illustrates what a massive change in direction this is for the herb. After 2 months of steady decline, this herb is on the move again. Also of note was a recent surge for the fishing index, which is largely dictated by the going value of stone scale eel. In the last 2 weeks, the price trended up by 5%, which has tanks all over worried of more pricey raid experiences. However, we have a lot more historical data for stone scale eel, and while the price might be considered not bad as previous months, changes made to fishing back in October continue to make this price still historically high. The outlook for fishers remains profitable if you can get the slippery little guys. That's all the time we have for Market Watch today. I hope you found some of the information here useful. Make sure to use wowauctions.net for all of your own market research. Remember to keep an eye on your coin, otherwise someone else will for you. Let's get back to the news. To round out today's program, we'll take a deeper look into February 20th's changelog with the weekly changelog roundup. The boss in Stratholme, the Unforgiven, was having trouble staying above ground to do its Frost Novus according to Tubso on the GitHub. Thanks to Turt Reynolds looking into the matter, evidently the apparition just forgot to turn its invisible off. The problem has since been rectified. While love is in the air, the particularly astute Eye of Beast noticed that doing the /kiss emote at QQ Pedal Feet wasn't giving the 200 hit point buff. Thanks to this GitHub poster's documentation of this buff being available on classic servers, the team fixed this discrepancy to make the server more vanilla-like. The ever buggy Greater Windstones of Slithis made another appearance on the changelog. The history with these magic summoning stones is lengthy to say the least, but a previous change a few weeks back might have swapped the doesn't respawn issue with a can spawn more bosses problem according to the changelog. Hopefully the fix remedies the issue, but I'm sure we'll see Greater Windstones again on the changelog. It's an old Turtle WoW tradition. Just be wary, summoning those bosses involves expensive materials. Friend of the show Balake pointed out that one of the more humorous bugs to the GitHub. Evidently, the Abomination Wing Guardians, known as Patchwork Golems, had the strange habit of including themselves in their own cleave ability. While raiders do appreciate their generosity, that damage rightfully belongs to the DPS of the raid, and now the golems are a little less confused. A malingering issue since the release of Lower Karazhan has been the extreme rarity of the two portal books for mages, Theramore and Stoner. The database had the drop rate fixed to 0.33% for 15 various and plentiful trash mobs in the Haunted Tower. The fact that the number of mages claiming to have either spell could be counted on one hand did rouse suspicion that something was wrong. Fortunately, the issue should now be rectified. Good luck to all the mages out there. And finally, a bug Turtle WoW News' owned Obomsawin Tallgrass experience firsthand was fixed. The new totem relic available to Shaman, called Totem of the Calming River, gave Shamans 6 mana per 5 seconds whenever their water shield was up. However, unbeknownst to Shaman, the MP5 continued generating threat from mana gain even when the Shaman was at full mana. While this is a minor issue, the cavern before the Twin Emperors in AQ40, raiders need to be careful to not generate any threat, or they could be teleported far away from their group after the Anubisath Guardians are pulled. Thanks to IMC Dermot13 posting about this bug, now Obomsawin won't end up dead far away from her raid. That completes the Changelog roundup for this week. This week's changelog is already out, so make sure to go check it out now so you can keep on top of all the latest adjustments coming to Turtle WoW. Well, that is all the time we have for the news today. I'd like to thank you all for taking time to watch the news program. I hope you found the information useful. Make sure to drop by to catch my weekly Fish and Chat stream this Saturday, noon US East Coast time. If you like this content and want to support me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're feeling generous, Super Chat should be enabled on the channel as well. My comments, DMs, and emails are always open for feedback, constructive criticism, and any new news items you'd like to share. Remember too, if you have advertisements you'd like to air, I'm only a message away. I loved Nerds of a Feather's commercial. The ways to reach me should be in the description of the video. It's about time for me to head out. Recording live on Tuesday and stitching it together on Wednesday for a wider video release has been helping to spread out the workload. Thanks for being patient with me. I hope to see you all next time. Whatever you're doing, make sure to have fun. Be safe, and remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge. Okay, and that is a wrap. Man, oh, I'm sorry. That got pretty scuffed. That got away from me in a couple spots. Hold on. I'm just changing a couple things around here. Where's my... I have a scene for this. Is it News Desk? Is it News Desk? No, it's not that one. This one? Ah, there it is. Okay. We'll just put that away for now. Okay, now I can actually look at chat. I am sorry. I had some scuffed moments there, but you know, it is what it is. I really like the concept of doing a live recording. I'm still probably gonna cut out some of the errors I had, but pretty much when I had to retake something, I think I'm gonna touch it up if I can. All right, let me see. Here's chat. How's chat doing? Oh wait, that's not the right. What's going on here? Ah, that's why. There it is. And we'll put that one up. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me there was no sound? I can also, let me, if you want, I can run the ad again. I do feel bad because I totally scuffed. So the problem was when I went to go switch over, I have a scene that is just the commercial. But when I did that, I realized that my desktop audio was defaulted to being on for that too. So I realized the background music I was playing would play over the video. So I was panicking to fix that. So yeah, let me just play. If you guys are okay with that, I'll play it again because I really like it. Let me just pull back up. That's my desktop. Here it is.
Are you a nerd of Turtle WoW? Join Nerds of a Feather. Whether you're in North America or Europe, let this be your new home. New to raiding? No problem. We welcome first-time raiders with open arms. We're a fun-loving, casual guild with a no-jerk policy. So, leave your dragon-sized ego at the door. We have regular raid days for MC, BWL, and more. Message us today and flock to your fellow nerds.
And even there, I still managed to play double music. Well, but no, I mean that was great. That was like downright professionally done. Nerds of the Feather, friend of the show, absolutely. They were the guild I covered like almost like a month ago. They had the all ladies night raid. And APOC, an old rogue tank buddy of mine, was a contact for me for Nerds of a Feather. So I've been in touch with them. And I think it was like a couple weeks ago, APOC mentioned, like, hey, like, we're interested in running an ad on your show. Are you down? And I'm like, I mean, free programming? Yeah, let's go. So... Yeah, like, you know, if I haven't made it clear either, I know I've said it before on stream, but if any guild, like, or any, like, RP event, anything that you feel that would go well to advertise on the show, like, I'm down. Like, if you want to put in the effort, like Nerds of a Feather did right there, and make something really worth showing, yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, like, that was really well done. I don't even think my bar is that high that, you know, if you make something that isn't that good, I'd be like, no, sorry, that's like, I need better quality. I say that as I finished up doing an entire scuffed live show, but you know, the live show is sort of a different beast altogether when you think about it, because when I do live shows, it's I am genuinely reading from a script, and last week, for some reason, like, I absolutely nailed it. Like, I think I had, like, 2 mistakes. And this week, not the case. Definitely not the case, but, yeah, you know. Yeah, no, I definitely think it's pretty neat. If anyone from Nerds of a Feather is actually in here, definitely say, hey, what's up, because yeah, that was great stuff. Let me Let me get some... I think I have some AQ music sitting around. I can probably play that. Nope, not that one. Did I hide that music in here? I could just play a bunch of random music from the old Turtle Wow folder. No, not that one. Play this one. There it is. Anyway, usually about this time, I think the changelog was out a little early. That's huge. Love to see that. Let me get over to Turtle Wow forums. We'll take a look at this week's changelog and go over it quick. Pop that out right there. Let's put it in studio mode so I can see what I'm doing. Nope, don't want that. I'm just getting the browser up here. If you don't want to play, no, don't do that. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. All right, that should work. We'll transition here. All right. Got my studio mode. Yeah, exactly, Frederick. It's not normally out that early. I think it's part of it's because the changes weren't like, weren't massive or anything, Just oh geez, that's what that is. I have my desk still here. Not the desk you're thinking of. I have like my little derpy desk. It's still somewhere in this scene. Okay. So let's take a look. The big ones, right, are retaliation will trigger overpower if the target dodges it. If there's like a warrior in chat that can translate what that means, I know overpower is an ability that warriors can trigger when you dodge, or I think parry them. I know this because when I did rogue tank stuff, a smart warrior who would duel me would just go into battle stance and just overpower me to death, because I think that, yeah, overpower is if the warrior attack gets dodged, maybe? I think that's how it works, then they get to overpower you. But retaliation, if I remember correctly, that's like that long warrior cooldown that allows warriors to just basically anything that hits you does damage. So retaliation will trigger overpower if the target dodges it. So you can dodge retaliation effects? That's weird. Okay, thank you, Frederick. Frederick says, so when I asked our warrior if it meant anything, the answer was only for tanks or in PvP, but using using would only be used if you need more AoE threat. Okay, I see. 30-minute cooldown if it hits up to 30 hits anytime it is hit from a target. Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry. I just didn't understand the play there. Calm elements will no longer aggro mobs. Now I actually know about this one. Sorry, let me see. There it is. Calm Elements is an ability they gave shamans for class change. Calm Elements is sort of like Soothe Humanoid for priests. There might be a Soothe Animal, but I don't know if that's true. But anyway, all this does is you cast it, it makes an aggro range of something smaller, and shamans can do this with elementals. Its use cases are pretty few and far between, but it's there. And is on brand for shamans, right? Shamans should be the ones to be able to calm elements, so. The Four Horsemen will no longer incorrectly summon players who are far away when they are already dead and have... Who are far away when they are already dead? Have become ghosts. So, I mean, I've done Four Horsemen a lot. Now, I understand with Four Horsemen, they made a change so that I think everyone had to be like in the room, if I'm correct in remembering that. So this would imply that like someone was dead and walking back to res, and the Four Horsemen summoned them? That's wild. I'd have to look into this a little bit more. Hardcore death messages will no longer appear twice for priests with Spirit of Redemption talent. I have a lot of questions. I know I just have one. If you're a hardcore priest, why would you have an ability that only works when you're dead? Am I crazy? What? I mean, okay. I'm guessing someone did it. You could just stave off death for like another... I don't know what... You stay up for like 10 seconds or something. It's not very long. You know, I'm starting to think I know why the changelog came out early. Like, look, this is it. This is it. That's like, what, like maybe a dozen? The spell resisted status, the spell resisted status should now be correctly sent to the client in all cases. No idea what that's about. Frederick, if I'm being real with you about the priest thing, I almost guarantee you the priest who found that out probably wasn't the one to post it. It was probably someone who's like, why is this person dying twice? That's my guess anyway, but we did the retaliation thing. Several quality assurance fixes have been implemented for Hyjal quests, including converting repeatable material turning quests into auto hand-ins. That's actually a nice quality of life thing. And adding chaining behavior to numerous quest chains. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, yeah, I had been hearing whispers about that, Frederick. That's true. A typo in the name of Ivory Hawkstride has been corrected. This one might have some actual market effects. Miniature cannonballs and Doomshot are no longer bind on pickup and can now be traded and sold on the auction house. Interesting. Let's I'll take that over here. Let me just bring up the TurtleWow database. I know Doomshot is a really good bullet. No, arrow. And I guess miniature cannonballs is probably a really good bullet. So there's Doom Shot. 100% chance to drop. I mean, that's good, right? Sorry, I don't know if the music's killing you guys. Not all the tracks are mixed perfectly within the the random Turtle WoW playlist I have. But yeah, this could really do something with the economy, because there's definitely sweaty parsers who are really always going to want Doom Shot or miniature cannonballs, and if this is miniature cannon balls, so that's slightly more, and also 100% chance of Cannon Master Wily. I turned down the music. Is it better now? Yeah, like I was saying, Frederick, like the music is like made by different artists too, so it's not all mixed the same. So I can play something at the same volume, but when I get to like a different album, it's just way louder, way more quiet. So I don't know how this is gonna affect things. I'll be interested. It's gonna make Strat is already pretty attractive for people who want to do it. For Plague Bloom, I suppose now you can also farm miniature cannonballs as like a concession prize, and also I suppose Righteous Orbs. So yeah, Strat's looking better and better. That's good. Uldamon Stonekeepers will now self-destruct upon death. Okay. Should I know those? Uldamon Stonekeeper. Keeper. That doesn't even appear. Stonekeeper. Here it is. Okay, nothing too crazy here. I don't know. This is probably something that happened in Classic and someone pointed it out and they fixed it. Incorrect loot has been removed from Ice Point White Claw. Well. My curiosity is too peaked now. Ice Point White Claw right here. Are level 44 to 66 bears beast, but cannot be skinned, drop money, and heavy leather instead of dropping what other beasts. Okay. Alright, they got you. Also, Torto's the one that actually pushed this ahead. Unless, oh wait, no, sorry. Let's look at the full history here. This was originally made in October of 2022. This was like slightly before I joined the server. Tortoise said, no, we're good. Right here. Nah, we're good. Apparently, Saya Ohiri, a month later, did not let it go and said, what you did was you copied the distress beacon. This is where you've actually got the loot table. And then late last year, Sia Ohiri, one to not let it go, and respect for that, says, Turt Reynolds, can you please open this? Okay, so apparently they fixed part of it. I don't want it to open it. The pelt is fine, but it still drops as 2 quest items it shouldn't. Wow, what a true lovely Cinderella story. You love to see it. All right. I also want to look up this 4 horsemen thing. I can't. Hopefully it's in here somewhere. 4 horse? No. 4H? No. Horse? Just type in horse. Oh, come on, man. There's nothing here. There's nothing for me to go on. The 4 horsemen will no longer. Yeah, type out. 4. I'll just type in 4. No, none of these were closed recently. That's what I'm looking for, stuff that was closed recently. That's me nuking the music. It got loud again. Oh wait, no, this is also old. Yeah, so I don't know what that's all about. Oh well. Additional invisible walls have been added to the Horde base in Alterac Valley. PvP battleground goers keep on winning. I've seen like these like once every now and then they add like another wall or something. As Frederick was mentioning, Eye Divinity and Ancient Petrified Leaf now drop as intended. I heard that they weren't dropping, or like weren't sometimes. So oops, that's not how you spell eye. Eye of Divinity. Yeah. Oh, I know. I think I know Darth Blader. I think they're in my guild if I'm thinking of the right person. It's supposed to drop either an eye or a petrified leaf. Currently, neither is existing in the chest. Well, look at this hustle. Are people being compensated for loot they should have? Wow, spicy. Yeah, I don't know how many groups Teledon might be getting something. Could be getting something. It's worth asking the question, right? I mean, those are marquee drops that people really want for priests and hunters. It would be kind of sad if they didn't get them, because they used their MC lockout, so... Clockmork Spanner Span will no longer teleport to Ironforge and so on turns in the quest Iron... Oh! So this is just like continuing Fallout, because they moved the important gnomes to the Gnomer Reclamation Facility, which is like now Gnomer's City. So a lot of those mobs, or I guess NPCs rather, you know, like you have to go to Gnomer Reclamation Facility to like do your quests. And apparently my read on this is part of the scripting for whatever quest this guy does. Clockmork Spanner Span. Who is that? Clockmort? Is that even how you spell it? Oh, there's a C in it. Okay. Okay. He is involved with several quests, actually. Okay, all right. All right. And hardcore deathmatch. Yep, and this one. All right. So that was this week's changelog. It's boy, that looks like next week's gonna be nice and easy for the old changelog. Yeah, Tilladon, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually understand and even accept the fact that, you know, there can be bugs and sometimes it will just screw you out of loot. And I think that's a good attitude to have. Just like, oh well, you know, we get it next week. I might feel a little bit more for, like, let's say it was like on Telebim. If that something like that happened for like a guild's first MC, you know, I could maybe see a better case being made, but yeah, as it is, I don't think it's ultimately that big of a deal, but I'm not sure what the right answer would be. And yeah, did anyone have any questions about this week's news? I'm looking at the waveform of my project, and I have a question for myself. My question is, why did I make it hard to edit my own audio? Let's see. If I cut off everything, it looks like gonna maybe be like a 20-minute long episode. I have a little cleaning up to do, but it's not bad. That top story I covered too, the one about players exploiting to get PvP gear they're not supposed to be able to have, at least visually. That one was a lot more time consuming than you might think. I had a lot of wild people throwing stuff in my way, and like, I completely understand where they're at, but yeah, Gar Warren, that's a really good point. It is sometimes simpler to do nothing, and I don't mean that in like a mean-spirited way, but it's just like, if everyone got screwed out of those drops, then everyone got screwed out of those drops. And if you fix it for some and you don't fix it for others, then it's just tough, you know. Because then you get into some real issues. But yeah, that I had that little graphic. What was it like? Justice for Absalon. That is the one person that I am aware of that ended up having some of their PvP gear that was from a different faction removed erroneously. When I spoke to them, they were in pretty good spirits, and I think what they were most concerned about, they were just like, do you know what I'm supposed to do with my gear that I have currently? Like, I don't want to get in trouble. Which I understand, but it made for an interesting story. Okay. Looks like it was an easy week. You're all letting me get off easy. Appreciate that. I appreciate it because I have more editing work to do than I want to do. Oh well. Yeah. So, don't really have anything else to add other than, yeah, we'll be doing Fish and Chat this weekend. I have a couple ideas, stuff I'd like to do. I'm a little less burnt out, so the ideas are coming back. I don't think I can leak it, but there's a project I will be doing with the radio team soon that I can't wait to talk about. That will be fun. I should probably ask Akalix when I can leak that. It's like my job. My professional job is to leak stuff. Ethically. Yeah. I think we're all set here. We got the news to you people. All right. So short stream. Well, that's fine on a weekday. Everyone, make sure to be good to one another. Be safe. And as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.